Hello, this is Heather Wibbels of MassageByHeather.com. I'm a licensed massage therapist in Kentucky and Tennessee. This is the second video of a 4-video series where I'm covering how to work on the foot. What we're going to do today when we work on the feet is we're actually going to do toe work. The very first video covered the top of the foot and the sole of the foot. In this video we're going to do some detail work on the toes. Some of these stretches can be intense, so do be very gentle when you work with your partner and have a lot of feedback going back and forth about the pressure and the length of the stretch and how the stretch feels. First, traction the toes. So I'm going to hold onto the toe with my thumb and forefinger, pull out slightly, and kind of pull back on the toe so I open up the joints in the toe a little bit. I'll do 2 of these on each toe. I've got my other hand down here supporting the heel just so the foot doesn't go all over the place. And I'm not pinching really hard with my fingers. I've basically got my fingers closed just enough so that I can hold onto the toe and do the traction. Once I finish with the traction, I usually go in and just do compression of each toe. So I slide my thumbs up each toe several times, and I go on to the next toe. And I'm compressing the tissue between my thumbs and my fingers, which are behind the toe. As I sweep off of each toe, I am hitting the toe pad. So make sure that while you're doing this, you're not ignoring the toe pad. Another technique you can use to open up the foot is to put fingers between the toes. So in this case, I'm going to put a finger between each toe. My stunt buddy's person's feet are kind of small, and my fingers are kind of big. So if you're in the same predicament that I am, you don't need to put your fingers all the way down, just enough to kind of open up the toes. Now if you're working on someone who really likes this, what you can do is open up your hand a little bit. As you open up your hand, you're going to spread the tissue in there and give all the toes a really good little stretch. Another technique you can use to open up the tissue between the toes is to put a finger and surround each toe and just go back and forth with your fingers slightly. So I've got a finger between the first and second toes, and on the other hand I've got a finger between the second and third toes. And I'm just going to roll my fingers back and forth. This is going to open up the tissue between the toes, and it's also going to give a good kind of massage to the toe that's in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and continue that between the second and third toes and the third and fourth toes. And we'll do that one more time on your last toe. Another way you can actually massage the toes is to twist the tissue on each toe. So I'm going to start with the bottom bone of the big toe, the great toe. I'm going to put the toe between my thumb and forefinger, and I'm just going to rock my thumb back and forth and move the tissue around. So I'm going to go to the second toe, do the same thing, grab the bottommost bone that I can, and sweep my fingers back and forth to twist the tissue. Another technique you can use on the toes is actually to grab a hold of the toe and just move it in a figure 8 direction, or an infinity symbol direction, whichever you prefer. So do this in one direction and then back up your figure 8 and do it the other direction. So again, figure 8s, I just have the toe between my thumb and forefinger, and I'm drawing little figure 8s one direction, and then I just switch directions to do a backwards figure 8. This last technique we're going to do, I've got a little bit different angle here for you guys to see. It's a series of stretches that we're going to do on all the toes. This is part of an orthopedic massage stretch technique that I've been using on clients for a while, and it feels really good just in a general relaxation massage. So the first thing you're going to do is take a hold of the first 2 toes, and you're going to pull them apart until the person you're working on feels a good stretch. You need to be very careful with these stretches. We'll do 4 of the stretches where we pull the 2 toes away from one another. We're going to do 4 stretches this direction with the big toe up and the second toe down. And as you can see here, I'm using putting the toe between my thumb and forefinger. We do the opposite direction, and then we pull apart 4 times to finish. Once you're done with that, you move to the next 2 toes. Pull the second and third toes apart 4 times. You can go slower, it'll be a little bit more of a stretch for the person you're working on. Do 4 times with the second toe up, 4 times with the third toe up, and 4 times pulling them apart. And you can do these any number of times. You don't have to do it 4 times. We'll do the same thing to the 3rd and 4th toes. And it's okay if the person you're working on doesn't want you to move the toes any further than this. Be very careful and get a lot of feedback from the person you're working on. Her feet are very flexible and her toes are very flexible. So her toes are able to move a lot more than most people's. We'll do the final 4th and 5th toes. So pull apart, one up and one down, the other one up and the other one down, and then pull apart 4 times. So we just finished up the work on the actual toes of the feet over here, and that finishes up our work on the foot while your partner is face up. The next thing we're going to do in the next video is work on the partner while they're face down, and you can get a little bit better pressure on the bottom of the foot and do some really nice leg stretches while they're in that position. Thanks so much. This is Heather Wibbels at massagebyheather.com.